fasten seatbelt sign comes on, and then which one's Key is the tall one, right? And Peel's the little one?
Yes, that's correct.
So Key gets up and Peel's the flight attendant, and he said, "You got to sit down."
Oh, yes, I have seen that one.
And he's like, "No, I got to go to the bathroom."
Yeah.
He's like, "But do I have to sit down?
Yeah.
Do I have to always?" It's so funny.
That one is good.
And then there's lots of turbulence. It's very funny.
Dude, he ends up getting rocked.
Yeah.
Because he didn't buckle up, and then the guy's just sitting there staring at him in the rocker seat.
It's very good.
Dude. Killed me a few times.
Speaking of just dying in skits, the Saturday Night Live George Washington skits with Nate Bargatze might be the greatest skits they have ever created.
Nate Bargatze's one of the funniest human beings.
But shouldn't we know what's in a hot dog?
Funny.
Get out. Get out of the boat.
It's so good. He's so funny.
No true American would want to know what's in a hot dog.
We will have two names. One for the animal as it is alive, and another when it becomes food. Pigs will be pork. Cows will be beef. What about chicken, sir? Nope, that one stays the same.
Chicken is chicken.
Chicken's chicken.
We will have a hot dog. Don't worry, it's not made of anything dog.
Yeah.
What is it made of? Nobody knows.
But shouldn't we know, sir? Yeah, that one got me. Get out.
That was good.
He just walks over him nonchalantly. Get out of the boat.
Yeah, as far as like going into sequels and doing a sequel skit, it's usually never quite as good. And I got to say that this most recent one where they are on the Delaware is not quite as good as when they're in the
It
camp.
never can be, but
they did a killer job.
it's as good as it could be.
Yeah.
Especially, usually they'll wait a season and bring it back.
Yeah.
This they did in the same season, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so freaking funny.
And crushed it.
The
It was
first
smart.
one, though, the weights and measures, oh my gosh. How many feet are in a mile? 5,280. A simple number everyone can remember.
It's great.
It is so funny.
How many feet in a yard? Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. We'll have 12 inches to a foot, 12 feet to a yard. If only it were that simple.
Yeah.
I love it.
Where everyone will be free. You mentioned the weather.
I did not. Oh, I love it.
Oh, it's good stuff.
I love it.
We're having a great time.
We are.
I'm loving it.
I love getting together with you guys.
No.
Highlight of the day.
Anything to make us not talk about
I'm
football.
always in the tree.
You are always in the tree.
I noticed that I'm actually not doing as bad as I thought I would for not touching my fake football team. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, your
I'm not last.
That's good.
Are you really?
Certainly. I won my first game last week.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I won. So in our
I think I
dynasty,
beat you.
our dynasty league is not good.
Yeah.
I'm not doing well in that one.
me
I have one win in that
Who's winning
league.
in that?
Shawning is undefeated, isn't he?
Sean's undefeated?
I think so.
Sean cares a lot.
Yeah.
But in our other league, I'm doing pretty well, except for Jordan beat me this last week. Apparently,
Jordan didn't even know.
I had a running back that was out that I did not know about.
Jordan's like, as far as fake football goes, or fantasy. Fantasy football goes, I'm the man.
I mean, fake, fantasy, whatever.
Yeah.
It works.
Fantasy's better.
Yeah.
I just forget what it's called.
It's okay.
Thanks for bringing me into this.
You're welcome.
People used to ask me,
You're welcome.
and now they don't ask me anymore because at first I was like,
give me
I
this
don't know how.
microphone, Jordan. It just. How about now? Is that good now?
Sorry, fans, for the random break to make sure that Jeremy's actually doing this correctly.
Listen, I
you
got
doing
shot
okay over there?
forward.
How's your microphone doing over there?
Just
So now I'm good.
Yeah, don't talk in front of it. So, anyways, welcome on into the Big Access Podcast today. Today we've got Dallan, our VP of Sales, and we've got Jeromy, our support manager, here with us today. We're going to be talking about sensors today and how those work with your PDK system. So, it's going to be fun.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I mean, we've got this brand new. I mean, it's been out for a while, but the Aux 8.
Still thinking about Key and Peele, so I'm sorry. I almost went like this. Do me. Have you seen that one? Just real quick. There's a comedian up on stage. And there's a guy, a burn victim in the audience, and he's roasting people, and he skips the burn victim, but the burn victim's like, do me. And finally, the whole audience convinces him to do it. And then he does it. And the guy's like, I thought I could take it, but I can't. And he starts crying. And everybody goes after the comedian.
Oh, my God.
Have you seen that one? It's too much.
yeah.
Those guys are too funny.
Sounds like
That's
it.
funny.
Okay, but anyway, back to what
Big
you were saying.
Access
The censors.
Podcast.
Yeah.
Welcome back in. We're
We can't have these
sensors.
preliminary conversations and just cut them off so fast and go right into it.
Oh gosh, well, dude. So, sorry, fans. Oh gosh.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Oh wow. Anyways,
We're having a great time.
We are having a great time.
We gotta have a great time.
We've got a bunch of sensors that can integrate into PDK to be able to trigger all sorts of different things, right? We've got this aux8 controller that is basically our input-output board.
Correct.
And it does a fantastic job of being able to report different types of events. So, Jeromy, there's a lot of different sensors that are out there, right?
Yes.
I mean, we've got, off the top of my head, I can think of door position sensors. We've got
Several types of those.
several types of those, right? Yeah, there are a lot. But they ultimately all do the same thing.
They do.
We've got glass break sensors. We've got gunshot detection / just noise detection sensors.
Yes.
Motion sensors.
Yes.
Vape and smoke sensors.
Yes. I know they did vape. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. Okay.
Yep.
Very cool.
Anything else that I'm missing?
I mean, there's
a ton.
moisture sensors.
Yeah, there are moisture sensors.
I mean, we have some in our
Moist.
downstairs because we have a basement that just like lets us know if there's any leaking or flooding.
Dude, I saw something cool with those, that there is a device that you can put inside your pipes where if it does detect that it is leaking, it will go ahead and cut off the pipe and seal it. Like automatically.
Wow.
It feels like I would be mad at that if it ever faulted and it just closed off my pipe for
Close
no
off
reason.
your water.
Just cut your copper pipe.
No big deal. Thanks. Thanks, sensor that failed.
That is bad.
Yeah.
That would not be good.
You got to have
If it
a
was hooked up to PDK, it wouldn't do that.
quality product.
Yeah. Well, so we're going to talk a little bit about these different types of sensors and how they can really be utilized in a lot of different environments, so that you guys, as the installers, can go ahead and provide the best installation for your customers. I mean, ultimately, one of the most important things that I think that is out there as far as sensors goes is a door position sensor.
100%.
Why are you not installing door position sensors?
Yeah.
a
I
great
ask
question.
that question
You
all the
have
time.
to install a door position sensor.
A lot of people don't realize that almost 40% of the functionality of a high quality access control system like ProdataKey is dependent on a door position sensor.
It delivers so much value
Yeah.
for a less than $20 part.
Yeah. I mean, having access control requires you to understand and know the state of the door. And that's what a door position sensor lets you know. Is it open or is it closed? Aside from the locking mechanism, it lets you know whether it's open or closed.
Yep.
That is part of the proactive value that comes with access control. Otherwise, it's just electronic locking.
This is me getting real with all of you right now.
Me
If
too.
you don't have a door position sensor installed on your system, it's not monitored access.
Fire.
He's getting it.
Sorry, guys.
Brock doesn't get like that very often.
I'm a little sad I wore my hoodie today. God, it's got warm in here.
He's dying over there, dude.
So, door position sensors. Jeromy, talk to us about door position sensors. What are they? Why are they important? Why should dealers install these?
I mean, we just talked about it quite a bit there, but I will add some extra to it. If somebody goes out the back door to a smoke break or something and they put a rock in the door and then they come back in and don't kick the rock out of the way.
Yeah.
If it's at the back of the warehouse, your whole warehouse is open. Nobody knows that door is open. Put a DPS on there and you get a notification that the door's propped open. Then you know to go lock that door.
Yeah.
Have a security guard go check it. Garage door DPSs are amazing. You know if a garage door is open that's left open on the back of a warehouse. DPSs are just, I mean, like you guys said, it's the most important, not the most important, but it's a very important part of access control.
Yeah.
You don't know if your building's secure without a DPS on it.
Yeah.
That's for peace of mind. That's just it, right? You got to have a DPS on there so you know your building's secure and locked up.
Yeah, and think
100%.
about this. Just going up and scanning a reader. All you know without a DPS is that somebody scanned that. Mm-hmm. You don't even know if they went through the door.
Yep.
Having a DPS allows you to understand they scanned it and they didn't go through the door. They did go through. That door was open right after the scan.
Right.
Or it was forced open.
Yep.
Or it's propped.
Yeah.
I drank a lot of that.
Your gorilla mind?
Yeah, a lot at one time. So now I'm like, woo.
Nice.
I'm on water today.
Water's a good idea.
Actually, I'm not going to talk about the 44 ounces of Dr. Pepper that's all over in my office, but
Better be Diet Dr.
I ordered one of those cups at your
Zero.
recommendation. So.
dude, they are the greatest cup ever. Jeromy, you ever seen this hydro jug?
Yeah,
Spill proof,
I was
baby.
going to say, turn it upside down, show him.
This.
We'll pretend like that didn't happen.
Did it open?
No, but a drop fell down. It was probably a drop that was
Inside there.
left from me actually drinking it.
That's what we're going to go with.
Yeah.
I'm in for it.
Anyways, they're nice.
That was
We got
funny.
a call from Cole Nebeker during our.
Yeah, Cole's currently at ProConnect in Dallas, and there's a lot of people there.
I wish I was
Hopefully
there.
he's okay.
I actually told him to call me on the lunch break, so
Ah.
that's him obeying
Yeah, it
orders.
is.
Good job,
It
Cole.
is an hour.
It is.
An hour ahead.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. No, is Dallas East Coast? Doesn't matter.
No,
it's
Dallas
track.
is right in the
It's
Off
central.
track.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Even though we're in the NFC East,
Yeah, that makes
we're
sense.
yeah.
Let's
we're
not even talk about that.
We're
Is
not.
Dallas East Coast? I'm sorry.
Where am I?
That's my favorite. You're the best.
I'm saying where I am right now.
Motion sensors.
Yeah, back on track.
Jeromy, how can motion sensors be used in a PDK system?
I mean, there's motion Rexes, but I don't think that's the direction we're going. So motion sensors similar to like a burglar alarm. Is
Yeah.
that the direction we're going?
Yeah.
I mean, same way they would wire up, same way as the DPS would. Ultimately, you just send a wire into the input and a negative, and then if a motion sensor detects a movement in that area, it would send a notification to that, and you could get an email based off of that. You get an alarm based off of that, whatever you want to get based off
Push
of that.
notification.
Yeah, push.
Have you
push
guys?
notification.
This is something I noticed is that our A8. This could just be random, but our A8 cell or aux8 cells went way up after push notifications came out. So I don't know if people see a lot more value in that.
maybe.
Text messages can be really unreliable.
Yeah.
I'm really glad we went in that direction. So
Yeah, push notifications way better.
I really like the push. Yep. Set up push notifications on your ProdataKey app using sensors.
yeah.
Yeah, very cool.
There's the plug.
I like it.
Well
What
done,
kind of
everybody.
sensors do you like for that? For area sensors, movement sensors?
I mean, motion sensor is going to work really good. Anytime it sees somebody, it'll ultimately activate a relay inside of that motion sensor, which will send a signal to the input, which will then do whatever you want it to do on the PDK system. That's my favorite part about the PDK system is any kind of input that comes in, you can do whatever you want with it. Send an email, send a push notification, set off an alarm,
Lockdown.
lock down the door, lock down the system, whatever it is. So, I mean, any kind of sensor you hook up to it, you can do anything you want with it. It's pretty rad,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
You just mentioned lockdown, and I think one of my favorite sensors that is out there are gunshot detection systems, especially in schools. Like,
Yep.
a couple years ago, I went out to Vail, Colorado. We did a case study for Vail Christian High School, and a lot of that was talking about the gunshot detection system that they have in place and how that integrates with PDK. But you can even tie those gunshot detection sensors just directly into PDK as well, so that way when they trigger, it can go ahead and send push notifications or trigger a lockdown as well.
Yep.
And so in that situation where if there was ever an active shooter situation, it can go ahead and trigger the system to A, lock down all the doors, B, notify all the staff in the building, but then it can also trigger an alert system to first responders, right? If they're in the system, they can then be notified, hey, there's an active shooter here in this vicinity,
Yep.
and then they can immediately get there on site.
Yes.
It's pretty sweet, right?
Very
Yeah,
cool.
I
Very
agree.
cool.
We got to protect the kids, man.
Yeah.
There's a mental health epidemic,
Different.
in the U.S. Very different.
Yeah.
So gunshot detection is really cool, but a lot of times these gunshot detection sensors will do a lot more than just gunshot detection. Oftentimes they have a lot of other capabilities built into them, like they'll have like big sound detection. So if there's a sound that happens that it recognizes, such as like glass break, or if there's a fight breaking out, it can actually detect those types of sounds and send the exact same notifications. So pretty cool tech out there with those. So
Yeah,
reach
very
out to us. You reach out to your sales rep, and we'd be happy to get you guys in contact with some of the people over there at Amberbox or any of these other sensor companies.
We have some great partners. Everything that you need to create a very next generation, high level, streamlined security system, we have it.
Yeah.
We have
pretty
integrations with the best companies.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
awesome.
Let's talk about glass break sensors, Jer.
Yes.
How does that work?
Like, how does it actually work? You want me to explain how a glass break works?
Do it.
It detects a certain pitch that when glass is broken, there's a pitch that it makes, which then that sensor can only pick up on that. So if you like clapped your hands really loud, a glass sensor wouldn't pick it up.
It's not a high enough frequency, right?
Right. It's a specific frequency that the breaking glass actually makes. They're pretty cool. I used them mostly in burglar alarms back in the day. But yeah, they're a very cool thing. But ultimately, I mean, all sensors are going to work the exact same way. They're going to have a relay inside of there. When this thing gets a sensor, it triggers that relay and sends a notification to us, and we do whatever we want with it. But yeah, those glass breaks are, put them in places where, a back room where you don't necessarily need motion sensor, but there's a window somebody can come through. Not a place that somebody checks very often. So if they break glass to get in there, it's the only way they would be able to get in there. Then that sensor would go off and you'd be able to get a notification based off of that.
Yeah.
Are those old long sticker ones, are those old, or are those a newer one that have, like at the house that we just bought, which isn't super old, but it's got them in the corner, and they're the full length of each glass, and they're just, you can see a little tiny wire. And I looked them up, and basically as soon as that wire breaks, it sends an alarm.
Oh, you mean on the actual glass itself?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's taped on the glass.
Yeah, I don't know if those are new or old, but that's the types that I always used were just a
microphone,
a device that went into the ceiling. Yeah, so those actual physical. So if that wire breaks, that's cool.
Yeah,
nice,
dude. Comment. What is your favorite sensor? Can I do that?
I'll allow it.
Okay, thanks.
I like that.
Yeah. Okay, so last one that I want to talk about, because we are getting close on time. I want to talk about the smoke detection and vape detection. So that's another type of sensor that can be wired into your PDK system to send out notifications that, hey, there's smoke going off. Or in schools, I know vape detection is very common in that application as well, letting you know if there is any suspicious activity going on. So ultimately, all of these sensors are all tied back into your PDK system to do one thing, and that is to notify you of what is going on with your system
and help protect life and property.
Bingo.
Yep.
Right? That is the reason why PDK exists, is to help you guys help protect life and property. And we want to make sure that it has all of the functions and features that enable you guys to do that. I mean, ultimately, it's a very important thing to be protecting life and property. We feel very honored that we get to be doing that.
Yeah.
And so we are encouraging everybody to go out there and install sensors in environments that need them. Always install a door position sensor.
Always.
Yep.
And then depending on your other environments that you might be in, use these other sensors to be able to get those in place where they need to be.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Airbnbs, and small house rentals, like we have in Arizona, that one of our partners built like 150 small house rentals in this little area.
Cool.
And they put smoke detection in there because obviously not everybody likes to smoke inside their house. Not everybody enjoys the smell. And it devalues their property.
Yeah.
And they wanted to make sure they knew what was going on. So they were able to tie that in with PDK and set up some notifications with that. So if you've got some Airbnbs out there, or you've got some rentals, even commercial rentals, we do a lot of shared commercial space, like with coworks, you can utilize this to make sure that your property isn't devalued.
Yeah. So the next topic that I want to kind of change gears to is the fact that all of these sensors really have never been thought as being utilized very often in an access control system.
Yeah.
Most people think of sensors being used in a Berg type system or an intrusion type, right? Mm-hmm. Well, one of the cool things with PDK is that you can get all those same features from that in your access control system, which I think is a big reason why Berg is kind of, falling in popularity, I would say.
Yeah.
It's definitely trending in a different direction, but I do think that there are companies like Resideo that are out there making it relevant again, in my opinion. I've seen some of the things that they've been doing, and it's actually pretty incredible. But you look at companies like, a lot of our competitors, a lot of our new competitors, like for example DMP, they used to only do Berg.
Yeah.
And now they're jumping to cameras and trying to do access control. And that's a dangerous game. Access control is really hard. So, if they were to focus on, Berg systems, intrusion, and make them better, relevant, easy connections, integrations.
Yeah.
Integrations, in my opinion, is one of the best ways to be able to offer the best of every world to your dealer partners and install partners, professional install partners, and the end user. Because I'm sorry, you just look, everybody the companies that do everything really just don't do any of it the best, right? that's just the nature. If we were to jump to do everything, it's the same. We would have to divert resources, and our access control would struggle, and we might come up in certain areas. So we are dedicated to making sure that we're offering the best of every world to our dealer partners to be able to offer the best solution to their customers.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, any other thoughts, boys, before we wrap this episode up?
No.
DPS is on all your doors.
DPS on all your doors.
Every door. Guys, it's so inexpensive. And I'm telling you right now.
You're already running the wire.
Yep. Yeah. If you're a legacy person, which most of our partners are, they care about their company, they care about the brand, they want to have their customers forever, use a DPS because they will get, just on paper, 40% more value on paper, but their experience is going to be infinitely better using a DPS. And their ability to use not only existing features of PDK right now, but future features is going to be way heightened. Okay, it's a $5, $10 piece, maybe a $20 install per door.
Yeah.
This is something that everybody should be having. Everyone should have.
Have that.
Have your customers DPS.
Yes. All right, guys. Well, there it is. That is this week's episode of the Big Access Podcast. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in. Be sure to subscribe to it, leave it a 5-star rating, and let us know of any topics that you want to learn, and we'll be sure to throw that into an upcoming episode. But thank you guys a ton for coming on. Thank you guys for listening, and we will talk to you next time.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.